Hi, my name is Victor Dundakov. I'm product manager with Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Today I would like to show you some very exciting innovations that we introduced within Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Operations Analytics. Without further ado, let's get going with it. With Operations Analytics, the subject matter experts responsible for monitoring and analyzing data that is coming from various applications have the ability in a single dashboard to see the application or service in its entirety. They can see the Advantage banking service view from operations perspective and topology on the right hand side. On the left hand side they can see various transactions where data is coming from the BPM system, Business Performance Management System, and also they can put together in the same dashboard metrics that are coming from various custom feeds that are representing business data or maybe even external to the enterprise data. And very often the SMEs that are managing those applications then end up into a situation where everything is red. In this case, they need to find out where and how they can start troubleshooting the application. So one of the very first things that they can do when everything turns red is to turn on the playback machine, which is the familiar user interface of a DVD player. And they can replay back, one of the innovations that we have, the entire dashboard and get to the point where the application is doing well. They're going to pause it at that point of time and really go and find and see what are the most significant logs. And one of the more recent innovations that we brought to the market is what are the most significant events that have been fed within Operations Analytics. I want to point out at this point of time that the Operations Analytics claim to fame is in the capability to just suggest and tell you to evaluate that big data lake and look at the logs, look at the events and tell you which ones are those that you really need to dig deeper into it, that are new, that are relevant and that are more crucial for the application that you're analyzing. In this case, there are several events that have been brought to the attention to the SME, that are also a few logs, and what is possible to do at this point of time is you can dig deeper now in what has been suggested by the system and explore what is happening in there. In this case, it is very much obvious that this is a transaction that is very high level of severity, and also it's been determined it happened around the time when the application started having problems. That particular transaction is a rollback transaction, and since it's something that has not been instrumented, the SME can directly put it on a dashboard for further analysis. But what you need to take away from here is the SMEs now have extremely powerful tool. In a matter of seconds, no more than minutes, they can identify issues that have not been previously detected or understood and bring them into a systematic fashion for further analysis. And that further analysis can happen by setting up abnormality alerts that are going to close the loop and provide the analytical aspect of identifying something that is new, something that is significant. So they will be able to create abnormality alert that is driven on dynamic baselines. So how do they do that? First of all, because this is already being detected, that it is a high criticality type of alert that will need to be triggered in the future, the SME is setting up the proper alert name and criticality. The next part is really to configure the tool and use the abnormality type of detection ranges. So for example, for a normal range, that's going to correspond to a certain level of sigmas of probability of the arrival of the new data, and to be within the same range. Also, the user can set up a above range or below range for what is going to be considered abnormal, together with the capability to put a hard ceiling or hard floor type of threshold, which is going to be allow to create this very powerful abnormality detection on the incoming data. When this is all put in place, the system is going to start executing and send the alerts to the appropriate system that is going to handle now the execution of the new alerts. A critical alert is going to be set based on the incoming data. The alert is going to be executed depending on the schedule set by the SME. It's going to be able to look for abnormality or deviation from the dynamic baseline calculated by operations analytics and trigger the alert if the abnormality happens above or below the dynamic baseline. And once it's set, the system is going to allow for creating an event either by directly sending an email or also running a script that can generate event into the managers of managers or operations bridges of the network operating center and closing the entire loop, giving that coveted capability to see around the corner of the events, to see the problems in their onset when they're still not catastrophic. What the SMEs and the operating centers out there achieve with this is the capability to find when things are going out of whack, when the things are going out of normal, before they really become catastrophic failure or before they become a full-blown brownout and degradation of a critical system. Additional new capability that we brought with Operations Analytics is a powerful tool that allows for a very fast determination of the similarity of behavior of various metrics. With a single drag and drop of one metric from a pane to another pane, the SME can verify and get mathematical confirmation of how close the behavior of those metrics is. And for example, as you can see, after clicking the correlate button, the system brought all of the metrics within a pane and immediately calculated the correlation coefficient calculations from 1 to -1, where 1 represents perfect correlation, -1 represents an inverse correlation. Bottom line is, with a single click of a button, the SME can understand how the metrics that are measuring the behavior of an application or a system under monitoring is going on, and then determine if they need to take action, if something is out of normal. That is second step will happen at the time when they detect, when they finish with the abnormality and looking at which metrics they want to analyze further. What they can do is, with a single click of a button, they can invoke the prediction behavior for visual prediction of one or more multiple metrics, and the system is going to immediately show them how and where those metrics are going into the future. If we pull back from all of those capabilities that Operations Analytics brings to the table, SMEs are going to be able to have, with a single click of a button, arrive at a dashboard that shows an application in its entirety, from logs, events, and metrics, and external and internal business data relevant to that particular application. With another single click of a button, they can see what is the most important within those logs and events within the time period where the problems started to appear. And then with one more click of a button, drill down into the appropriate logs or events and start tracking them into the future for closing the loop with the operations bridge or the monitors of the monitor, effectively changing the entire dynamics of how a application or a service is monitored and who can do it. Not only it is extremely fast, being able to do all of that analysis without being a data analysis expert, but also to do it in its entirety and point and invoke the people that are responsible for the subsystems of the application. As a result, war rooms are removed, eliminated in certain cases, and new and important features or problems within the application that is monitored can be brought into the instrumentation of the monitors of monitoring. Thank you for watching the demo on Operations Analytics. For more information, please visit our webpage at the Hewlett-Packard Enterprise corporate website.